Hey guys, how's it going? It's been forever since I've done a video. I have not done one since my house burned down, except for this really ghetto one that I filmed in my car, like in the middle of the night, and I was like a mess and like I've been crying and shit. So like this is for real though, first time back. Not many people saw that video, I don't think, so we're in the clear there. Yeah, shit's pretty wild right now. I don't know how the fuck we got onto this timeline, but I'm glad to be here, you know what I mean? I'm having a good time. We gotta be here right now, I know. So I'm not gonna say too much. I don't have any pretext for this reading at all. This is just like a collective themed type energy reading. So if you're listening, then good for you, I guess. Okay, so this is the part that kind of takes me a second, so you guys are just gonna have to bear with me. Here's my, I don't have any of my other deck's cards, none of them made it. This deck survived the house fire with minimal damage, so that's what I got to work with. I'm on the coast, on the Oregon coast, and it's raining. It's super pretty out. It's a little bit freezing, but other than that, you're okay. Got people making faces at me. Not very good at keeping you guys entertained while I'm doing this, sorry. I usually just give a link to when the actual reading starts. Like, not much of a conversationalist until I am, then I don't really shut the fuck up, so I don't really know how I have friends, to be honest with you. Okay, this is a super straightforward reading. Makes things easier on me. Okay, we just jump right in. So, first we got a pair of sixes, the jack in the middle, clubs and spades. So, this is just a message directly regarding your domestic life right now, your home life. It's funny, we're all in quarantine. We all have different living situations, but for the most part, we're mostly staying home right now. You know, some of you guys are out there working and shit. This is basically just like a direct message that even though shit seems crazy right now and shit doesn't necessarily seem right in the world, maybe some of us are resistant to wanting to stay home, maybe some of us are relieved to be staying home. I'm sure some of us maybe feel guilty, like we're not doing enough. This is just a message that we're exactly where we need to be right now, 100%, all of us exactly where we need to be, and that the only thing we need to be focusing on is just self-care, like just daily habits that make us comfortable and that make the people around us like happy and comfortable. So it's like acts of service for your family, for yourself, and just like really cutting shit down to the basics. So this is like, you know, what food that you eat and what you do in your free time, and like the kind of self-talk that you use in your free time, and like basically the habits that you have, just the habits you have in your everyday life that affect how you feel about yourself. So, I mean, if we eat shitty food all day and like engage in arguments online, or like don't get out of bed, or like are hard on our body, we're not listening to our body when we're sore, or we're hungry, or we're sick, or anything like that, is super important with this whole virus thing too. It's like really just giving everybody an opportunity to get in touch with yourself, and to get in touch with your family, and to get in touch with your body, and how your body interacts with your most immediate surroundings. And as a result of those things, and the result of the choices that you're making in every single moment, the choices that you make from moment to moment to moment throughout your day, that vastly affects how we feel about ourselves. So yeah, this next one, pair of 9s with a 5 in the middle, spades and hearts. So this is like kind of a loaded one. So this is like many things, most things, if not all things, have multiple layers to them. So on one side, this is putting under a microscope like the acts, like how you sacrifice yourself for relationships or for the sake of other people. This is all the sacrifices that you have made in the past, going back to like that self-worth thing. This is all the ways that you compromise your own self-worth. Like when you allow somebody to treat you a certain way, when you allow somebody to continue using actions that are detrimental towards you, or to speak to you in a way, or like act towards you in any way that compromises like your highest worth and your sovereignty, your highest self. Like you can't be, so many of us are called to help in this world, and so many of us have such big hearts, and so many of us in the past have absolutely like destroyed our lives, just giving everything that we have to people that maybe aren't necessarily capable of reciprocating that. Now there's a fine line, because like an act of service doesn't, like, that kind of goes to say that the person, you're not expecting anything back, and that's fine, you know, like it's wonderful to do things for people without expecting anything back, and that should be a part of your daily practice, but after you have taken care of yourself. And so many of us find our worth and seek our validation through just like sacrificing ourselves to other people and to their situations, and being at people's disposal. This is putting all that shit under a spotlight, and this is giving us an opportunity to kind of like go a different way, to where we're venturing out. That's where the 5 comes in. And this is giving us an opportunity to do it in a way that's not like traumatic or detrimental. You know, a lot of the times in the past we had to learn hard situations and relationships because we gave and gave and gave until we got fucked over, and then we had to learn the lesson that way, which is difficult. This is not so much that. That's kind of over right now, unless you choose for that to be a reality. Now is an opportunity is being given to us to like venture out into new things and new people and new experiences that are like good for us and that nurture our highest vibration. This is taking like the foundation that we have already built, the foundation that we've been working on building this whole time within ourselves. This is in our lives too, but like not even so much that right now, because what with this fucking pandemic that's happening, many of us are having the fruits of our labor stripped away from us. Many of us have lost jobs. Many of us have lost living situations. Many of us have lost a lot of physical ground that we feel like we've worked really hard to get there with that physical ground, so that job or that home or that reputation or like whatever you've been building for yourself, a lot of us have been kind of stopped in our tracks, and it can be easy to fall into this this self-defeating scenario where we feel like we're not getting anywhere or that something's wrong. But this is an opportunity to take that foundation that you've already built and realize that, like, you don't even need any of that shit, because the foundation that you have built is within yourself. And we've been like honing that energy for a long time. We've been building that energy for a long time, and like many of us can weather any storm, you know what I mean? All of us can. So this is an opportunity to recognize that we no longer have to give ourselves, we no longer have this like karmic attachment of separation, or we no longer have this karmic attachment of having to sacrifice everything for somebody. Now it's almost like all those dues have been paid the fuck up. And if you're continuing to engage in those kind of behaviors, like, that's just kind of like solely your choice at this point. So now's an opportunity to take what you have built within yourself and your personality, all the self-work that you've done, to better cope with all these crazy life situations, all these physical like situations. Now is an opportunity to take that and build off of that. So many people are using this opportunity to network out with other people. Many people are using this opportunity to go farther in their art or their music or their work of any kind that they're passionate about. This is just calling a lot of attention to the fact that we no longer have to sacrifice ourselves and our relationships, like, to get our validation or our worth, because we have worked for it. We have it now, and not any of this like physical shit that we feel like we've worked for, and not any of this relationship shit that we feel like we've worked for. Whatever that we've worked for in ourselves to build our own worth and our own sovereignty, that's your exit. Like, that's where you're gonna grow from now. Next set of cards, Queen within a pair of eights. So, okay. So this addresses Queen of Hearts is, she is the woman who, name is pretty self-explanatory, you know what I mean, Queen of Hearts. So this is the woman that can give, like, she has got the hugest heart, she can give everything that she can. She's like a master of her sovereignty in relationships with other people. And she doesn't do this by just like throwing herself at everybody's feet, okay? Like, people come to her and she makes a beacon out of herself. And because of that, because of the fact that she doesn't have like all these attachments and shit, that she's her own sovereign figure, she can channel that love endlessly without attachment. Because as soon as you start trying to like get attached to the outcome of one path, of like, if I love this person, then this will happen. If I love this person, then this action will change. This situation will change if I love them enough. The Queen of Hearts, like, she really doesn't fucking have any kind of attachment to anything. And because of it, she can spread her love and like her compassion and her wisdom, her emotional wisdom everywhere that she goes. Around this pair of eights. So, everything is dual-sided, so more so the vibe that I'm getting from this set of cards is that, and because it's in hearts and diamonds too, this is saying that if we can learn to love from that place of non-attachment, I don't want to say detachment, because we want to love with all of our hearts all the time. But we can't be attached to the outcome or an expectation of like an intention, a motive, or a goal that we're trying to accomplish with our love. This is saying that if we can learn to love from that place, then we can experience like true and genuine abundance. Because when it has an 8 is like the infinity sign symbol energy, when you're giving love like on that level of non-attachment, where you can get, this is another big thing about it too, is like with the 8, is that you have to be able to receive it, because it's like it goes both ways. So this is like another thing calling into our worth, is like, you know, a lot of us spend a lot of time helping other people, and we maybe are not that great at accepting help at all. We push people away because of this, and we limit our opportunities because of this. And like, as much pride as we have, and it is like a pride thing, or at least like a wounding thing, as much like pride or fear of being wounded that we have over this, the people in our lives want to be able to help us. You know, like, if you feel empowered when you're helping somebody else, so does somebody when they're helping you. And we can't always be the one. So it's like, this Queen of Hearts, do you really think that she can just like give all of this love and all this compassion and all this like emotional wisdom and harmony and shit, if she is having to carry the whole weight of the world on her own shoulders? No, probably not. She has all kinds of like people in her court to help her with all different kinds of things, and she can delegate. It's what like any sovereign figure can do. Recognizing where your efforts are best spent, and letting go of the things that aren't, like, some things you can just cut out completely, you know what I mean? Just realize like that's just fucking an energy trap. It's just like consuming all my energy. But then also like learning to be able to delegate and let other people help you as well, so that when you're in that place of giving and receiving, you don't burn yourself out just trying to like give all your everything to a situation. You have to be able to receive back from that too. And like, we are receiving back from it in like a toxic situation, so it's the other side of this 8. So this is like the dual, the other side of this with the Queen in the 8s is somebody that doesn't even, like what I was just talking about, somebody that doesn't even care about their own self or anything, because they're so tied up in like attachment to the point of codependency in relationships that they just become an empty vessel. Because 8s, the other side of from abundance, is like our shadow selves. This could be like severe toxicity and delusions and shit. So this can be somebody that is just like pouring out everything they have from a place of like not non-attachment, from the place of dependency, codependency, and attachment. And because of this, you think of it like this energy that you're just like putting out in one direction. And because of it, like, you are receiving back too, but what you're receiving back is toxic and just continues to drain you. The more that you put in, it just never ends. Like, the more you put into a situation, the more you try to fix it, the more you try to determine the outcome with a certain person, that's all you're gonna getting back is that same shit, that same invalidation, or those same hurt feelings, that same like obsession, like whatever that looks like for you. This is an opportunity to leave those toxically dependent, codependent parts of us behind, and trade that for like free love, basically, for everybody, for all. But in order to get to that place of like free love, you have to stop being a martyr. You have to stop murdering yourself with these 9s. You have to stop sacrificing yourself to other people and other relationships, giving away your sovereignty, giving away your power, giving away your crown to somebody else. If we can stop murdering people, bring it to your home life. Start focusing on yourself. Start focusing on those little daily habits. That's how we develop our beliefs towards ourselves. You start, pampering yourself in small little ways. Instead of rushing, like, take the scenic route, walk through a fucking garden or something. Instead of like hopping in the shower really quick, like take a bath. Instead of like just eating a fucking quick thing that is like shitty to fill you up, whatever, like eat some good food, like eat some fruits and vegetables or something. And it's like the more like little choices that we make in each moment to honor ourselves, that slow, like it's a practice of mindfulness, it slowly starts working on our subconscious. And that's how we begin to value ourselves more. And then we can learn also, while we're at it, to listen to our body and to like get more in tune with what we actually need, what we actually don't like, and what we like and what we don't like. And if we can get in a place of like actually feeling good, like we don't realize how supplemental like we do ourselves all day. You know what I mean? Like just eating something because we're hungry, but it doesn't have any nutritional value. Like just taking a quick nap because you're tired, but not like actually getting comfortable and going into a deep sleep. Like just stretching your back really quick because it hurts really bad, but not actually getting on the ground and doing some fucking yoga. You know what I mean? And it's like we do ourselves like this all day to where we're constantly like in this state of like just not quite discomfort, but we're not comfortable either. Like just that weird like supplemental place. So we're like, okay, this will be good enough. Once we actually start honoring ourselves and like feeling good, doing things to feel actually comfortable and like nourished and healthy and happy, then our body and our mind get used to feeling like that. And then we start to notice the things that don't make us feel so good. Then we start to notice which relationships we're just sacrificing in, which relationships that we're just like doing ourselves dirty in, honestly. And then like after that, once we can make those realizations, because this is like the things that are coming up to be looked at right now, then if we can like come to those realizations, notice those things, make those choices, make those changes, instead of pouring all of your love into like just this one like weird situation that is like, you know, this person's constantly needing to be validated, or like maybe you guys are constantly arguing, or like constantly accusing, or constantly jealous, uncomfortable, somebody that is constantly making you feel guilty. Like there's so many different ways that could look. But like once you can get comfortable like in yourself, you start doing yourself right, then you will start to notice in your relationships which things maybe don't feel so right. And then once we do that, we can like choose to fully step into a place of like free love. And once we do that, then we have the opportunity to experience abundance in our relationships and shit. But the reason and diamonds are material possessions and shit too. The reason that we're experiencing abundance now is because this energy of like giving and receiving. You're giving to these savior toxic dynamics, you're receiving toxicity and hurt in return. You're giving to these free love dynamics, you're receiving this love and shit in return. Your energy is not just stuck in this rut. Your energy has the opportunity now to like expand and develop and continue to grow. And when you're not pouring all of your energy into some non-essential resource, then you can actually start to see the fruits of your efforts. So I mean, like, yes, this is in relationships too, which is important, but it's like also calling attention to the fact that like our financial situations are like just because money is just symbolic of our worth too, you know what I mean? And so it's like whatever worth that we're receiving for the work that we're putting out, we're actually going to be able to be abundant in that sense. The reason we're not abundant yet is because we keep pouring into these martyr situations. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. I hope that resonated with some of you. If it did, let me know. You know, whatever. Okay. Love you guys so much. Bye-bye.